What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at the LEGO Star Wars Kamino Training Facility, set 40765 with 190 pieces that would retail for $30 US, but this was a May 4th gift with purchase, so you had to spend $160 to be able to get this. So on May 4th, I bought a couple sets to get this promo because I did really want it. Getting our Clone Cadets here, so we get 3 Clone Cadets. Of course, they're unfortunately all look exactly the same, but that makes sense for the Clone Cadets, so that's what you would expect. We get some training of the battle arena, so we get like a gun tower and a little bunker with some guns, and then we also get the KE-8 Enforcer, so that's pretty cool, just a ship you see flying around in the background of Attack of the Clones. So overall looks pretty cool. With our set there, we can spin around and just see some of the stuff in action. We can put a character up in the ship as it lands there. Of course, the bunker can hold the guns, and of course have the tower there in the back with our Clone Cadets. So pretty basic set, it's a gift with purchase, so nothing too crazy or extravagant about it, but it does look really nice, and I was excited to get this set. So let's go ahead and look at it, starting with our Clone Cadets. So we have our 3 Clone Cadets, which are young clones of Jango Fett that were given intense training and education on Kamino to become clone troopers. So we'll go and start this. Obviously, they all look exactly the same, so we only really need to look at one. The only difference is the guns that the instructions wanted you to give them. But there we've got our clone design of Jango Fett. So of course looks exactly the same face-wise as Jango Fett and everything, with his sort of hair. So these are a little bit older and stuff, so a little bit more mature in the cloning process, but looks good overall. I don't think, there's no back printing or anything on the head, but then we get the little Kamino outfit, so wearing red this time, so we get the darker red arms, of course with like the cloning logos there on the shoulders, which is nice, and then the lighter normal red sort of like shirt tunic with a belt around the waist and kind of hangs down there, going into the red pants and the black boots there on his feet. So overall looks pretty good. So it looks like, maybe like dual molded legs, we get printing on the arms and stuff, so overall pretty nice design for them. But it does make sense because we are getting 3 repeats, so not anything real surprising or different between the 3 of them. So like I said, the only real difference is the gun, so we get the different gun designs with each one. So this one we get the longer gun there, so that's pretty nice, and of course the other one has the next shorter gun and then a little pistol with our last one. But it's just nice to get 3 of our Clone Cadets. And that brings us to our training facility. So like I said, we do get a little bunker here. So you'd have a bunker, out in the training arena that the clones can like hide behind and everything, use as a bunker to protect themselves. But it also has the clips on it so you can store the guns. So like this came with some extra guns, so we can store them on there, or the guns they already have. So it serves as a bunker and a weapons rack for the training facility. And then we also get a turret tower that has guns. So we have 4 guns around there. And this does spin around. So of course they'll spin around and shoot, and the clones have to try, dodge and everything and protect themselves since they're 5 in the training battle. So nice, just a little tower design, pretty simple and basic design there, just with a spinning top on it with those guns. So that's pretty nice as well. Nice to have more, bunkers and stuff to go along with that, but that's just what we get. And then of course we have our ship, again the KE-8 Enforcer. That is a repulsor lift patrol craft used to monitor the cloning facilities, and is armed with an electroshock stun device, so no like major weapons or anything, but can shock the troopers. Of course it's hard to fit in the camera here because of how tall it is, it's up off the camera, but if you want to have it sitting, it just sits down like that, so it allows the view characters get in and out. So we can put a character inside there, and the ship can fly around, and as it gets up, this sort of comes down and can then fly around. Not sure if this may be where like the shock device comes out of or something, not exactly sure, just since it's sticking out there like that, that's what makes me think of it. Love the blue designs thrown in here as well, the clear blue with like the different repulsor things and all that. Like I said, we do get a cockpit that you can put a character down inside there so they can fly around in, which does look pretty nice overall. And then this also does some effects, so these parts will twist around, so it reminds me a lot of like Jango Fett's ship and stuff. So I feel the cockpit should twist around as it moves and stuff, like maybe it should lay flat, and then as it repulses, this will twist around and stuff and get it to fly forward and around and stuff. Again, it's hard to really know exactly since we just sort of see him flying around in the background, and it's really hard to tell, but just nice that it has the different effects and stuff there with the piece that'll twist around. We can sit a character inside. Now I'm not sure exactly how they go in, if they'll just like stand down inside there, like it kind of shows him standing on the box. Obviously if I didn't have the gun in his hand there, like maybe standing like that and he could be inside, but also with the things in the back, it looks like maybe it could be sitting down and stuff. It's hard to really tell exactly what's going on inside the ship there, but you can put characters inside that as well to be flying around. So it's a pretty fun ship. I don't like this so much because it's so loose. It's connected with just a little clip there, so it is pretty loose and moves around easily, but you can get it to stand up like that, which is pretty nice. So you can have it sort of on display there with our bunker and the clones recreating a little fight scene and everything. But like I said, not a whole lot to it, just a fun additional thing to represent more of Kamino, which we don't get a whole lot in the Lego sets. So as usual with a gift for purchase set, we don't get a whole lot to it, but it was nice that we did get 3 minifigures with it. Of course they're just repeats repeats of the same minifigure, but still nice to have that, fits perfectly for the clones, and overall pretty nice set for the Kamino Training Facility. So let me know what you thought of the gift with purchase down in the comments, and did you get one for yourself? But if you enjoyed my review, let me know with that like, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button to see more. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.